3 difficult things. I mean, she said that you wanted to like give back, right? As in like maybe have the game sort of provide some kind of pro-social benefit, or
Exactly. So with Nevermind, in addition to entertaining and scaring you, we also want to leave you with some skills that you can use in the real world. We want players to become more mindful when they start to get anxious and when they start to get scared and when they start to feel stressed, and learn to kind of be more connected to those feelings and in turn learn how to better manage them. So, to really progress through Nevermind, you need to learn how to calm yourself on the fly. And the same techniques you use in the game are the ones you can use in everyday situations. And so that's really like how, in this case, how Nevermind gives back. It's a way for everyday people, quote unquote, everyday people, to kind of apply these same techniques to, quote unquote, everyday situations of stress, whether it's traffic, whether it's being nervous in front of a job interview, whatever the situation may be.
I guess because the sort of core challenge of the game is to stay calm, right?
Exactly.
Very cool.
And so you had these sort of goals. Did you get to this immediately, or was that sort of like a long process of you sort of thinking about how you might combine all of these?
It actually evolved pretty quickly to the kind of what Nevermind became. I was very fortunate in that, and still am very fortunate in that I have an amazing set of advisors and professors while I was here. And so when I kind of pitched this like crazy idea of like, I want to take these 3 weird things and try to jam them together, they're so supportive and so positive and so encouraging. And they Mary and Tina Gotsis, who was the chair of my thesis committee, was the one who brought up the theme of trauma. She was the one who really introduced me to psychological trauma and got me interested in learning more about it. And so that kind of nudged the narrative in the direction it needed to go. And it really, again, like thanks to my classmates and everyone, it came together remarkably quickly once it started going.
It's really interesting. She said that she sort of introduced, I guess prior to sort of her council, where you started thinking about more as like just typical horror settings, and so she sort of introduced like the idea of, I guess, personal trauma.
Kind of. I mean, I knew I wanted to make it psychological in some sort of way. See, so it can get very staticky.
Don't feel scared.
It's tough too when people are watching you play because you get like very like self-conscious.
Maybe that.
So you're actually, you have extra difficulty mode going with everyone kind of watching your every move.
Types of anxiety, right? Yeah.
And then here too, in addition to the static, when you get stressed, the bridge will tilt, making it even harder.
Oh, wow. I'd love to see that. Can we,
stress her out? Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm so blind I can't read that.
She would take us to the forest to die, but we would leave a trail to find our way back home. One time, we got very lost. Dang.
Now, Momo, is that real or fake?
Oh, there's the bridge. Yeah.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, stop.
Oh, man. I don't know, but the bridge doesn't look real good to go over.
Go.
Cool.
Oh, doing well.
This music.
What was your first exposure to biofeedback? I feel like most people don't even really, understand all these sensors exist right now, right?
Yeah, and when I first worked with it, it was before really any of the sensors existed. It was, I think...
When your judgment of client's mind can affect you,
Wait until...
you will see parts of yourself reflected in the mind of the client. Tread lightly and tread carefully.
I think it was 2009, somewhere thereabouts. I was working on a project called Trainer, and it was this game that was intended to help children adopt healthy eating and exercising habits.
Oh, okay.
And it was sort of like a Pokemon game in some ways, like a Pokemon exercise game. And if you wanted your creature to be stronger, you had exercise alongside with it. If you wanted to be faster, you had to do jogging exercises with it. And we wanted to find a way to hold the player accountable for actually doing the exercises, so they wouldn't just say totally I'm doing 100 jumping jacks and not at all,
So were you using some kind of pedometer or?
Well, we explored a lot of different solutions because we were like, well, how do we measure this? And so like maybe biofeedback, and so we looked at pedometers because that was really the only type of sensor that was really available to consumers at that time.
Yeah.
And we just couldn't get it to work. Like it just wouldn't connect to the game. And so we ended up going with using a webcam to detect motion detection in it, which worked great for that game. But I was still like, there's so much cool stuff that can be done with biofeedback if the technology were only more advanced. And so 2 or 3 years from that was when I started my thesis. So I was like, well, let's see what's out there now.
Okay, sure. So you sort of had experience, and then you sort of came back and looked into it a little bit more.
And then there were a couple more things, and we were eventually introduced to the Garmin Cardio Chest Strap and Ant Plus protocol, and that's really what the sensor we used for the first Nevermind. And that worked, great, and got everything we needed. But you still had to put on under your shirt and like put goo on it, which is like not a great experience,
I remember Lex describing that.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's.
Ooh.
I remember this part was
Maybe not great for a Steam download, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it worked great for what we wanted to do, but it wasn't very everyday player friendly. So, fortunately, by the time we returned to Nevermind to build this version of it,
Oh, no.
Oh no.
yeah, if you give it a few moments, it'll heal. But I think you're okay. You got this.
Do you hear voices? I hear someone talking or something. Wait, what?
Maybe.
I am the incinerator.
Oh no.
Okay. Alright. Oh, I'm inside. Okay. Oh, okay.
Look at how static you got.
Oh, and if you get too stressed, you take damage. So you need to calm down, otherwise you'll die. Good. Okay, you're relaxing. You're good.
Milk from a candle. Oh man.
There you go.
That's good.
But yeah, it's great now that there's like more sensors coming out. Like every day, there's like a new heart rate sensor being released. So it's like really promising for, I think, biofeedback in gaming as a whole. Like just in the last few years.
Now that it's becoming, I think, more of a thing that the average consumer might even start, or average consumer, right? But like
Yeah.
that a significant number of consumers might actually own.
Exactly, and for game developers, it's a lot easier. Like the RealSense technology comes with an SDK that, as a developer, you can use and integrate. Things like their pulse detection feature or their motion detection features, and that's so great because now really the barrier to entry for both the consumer and the developer has really been eliminated. So now it's just up to wacky game designers like us to come up with good ideas to make the game.
Stuff. No, that's the best. I think this sort of like trend in the past 5 years, you're just like making all these peripherals just crazy easy to use.
Yep.
I remember the first time I just like got the Oculus Unity integration, dragged the thing into the scene, like click drag, hit play, and like, oh wow, the Oculus works
Yeah,
now.
no, it's like it's an amazing world we live in where. Yeah, you can create worlds and live in them, like, all within the span of 5 minutes.
It's a good time to be working with this stuff, too, so it's... Oh, this is nice. This isn't scary.
Yeah.
Stressed of the niceness.
So well, it's almost a little unsettling. I mean, you see those statues, right?
Kind of ominous.
Aw. Man, just nothing has its head today. Oh, no, actually,
No, these have their heads.
that is a frog,
Yeah.
never mind.
Frogs have strange
Okay.
shaped.
They do.
Oh, this is a weird. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we're coming at it. It's good. It's good.
Happy.
So, this is released right now, but you were saying you're planning on adding more, I guess, chapters? I don't know
Yeah,
exactly how they're
levels or clients.
contextualized within the game, but is that just sort of going to be like updates to the game as it continues?
Yeah, our goal would be to be able to release new clients on an episodic basis, probably something
Oh,
like that.
okay, very
So
fun.
if we are able to build more levels, it'd be something like, hopefully there'd be a good cadence going. Every few months there'd be a new one available. We probably would do something where at least the first new one we make will be free for everyone who already bought the game, and then we'll just kind of go from there and just kind of see what makes sense.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And do you sort of like see that coinciding with whatever big sort of hardware update you do, like in terms of Oculus or more sensors?
Yeah, exactly. So especially as we have more sensors, those will just be updates to the game. So once we are working on supporting a few more sensors, and so once those are available, we'll just launch it as a patch, and it'll be now compatible. If you already bought the game. So
Very cool.
yeah.
Let me check on the time. I know that we we were originally looking at ending at 5. I was wondering, like, would you mind if we went a few minutes over just because we had some setup issues?
Yeah.
Awesome. So maybe we'll do like 5:20.
24-hour and 20-minute stream.
Yeah, 24-hour and 20-minute stream.
What?
That's
So
not
here-
the story of
yeah.
this client's trauma. Try
You
again.
have to recreate the story of the trauma. So everything's been included. Now, granted, I've been yakking this whole time, so you probably missed a lot of details. So I'm happy to help figure it out. So, but basically, the idea here is you need to reconstruct the story of what happened to this individual. What was the trauma they experienced? So 5 of the photos will tell the story, and 5 of them are complete false memories that we put in there to trick you. So you have to really think carefully, like, what is it that this person experienced that led to them becoming kind of traumatized.
I'm curious. You have the student version, right? Which is what you made while it was here for AGP. Like, how much of the elements carried over from that into this version?
The second level, so the student version is just one level, and that one level is what's basically the second level in this version of the game, story-wise and content-wise. And so we rebuilt that level from the ground up, but the structure is very similar. So if you played the student version, then the second level will look very familiar.
Okay.
And we actually reused even like the voice acting is the exact same across the board, and
The animal?
Really? Like, this is some high-quality voice acting. It's...
we were very lucky because our the voice actor in the second level was a friend of a friend,
This one might be
and
real.
Yeah, I feel like rabbits.
and I love hearing when people are trying to figure it out. This is
This
always.
one's not.
But yeah, anyway, and she's an amazing actress, and actually it's funny, she's she is in the Allstate commercial where
Does the middle
you know, the guy when the woman is like, you know, so you said that women are bad drivers, and then the guy's like, well, I don't know. It's like, well, what do you call this? You know, it's the good driver rebate check. Anyway, so every time I hear that commercial, though, like, all I can hear is the client from Nevermind. So it always it freaks me out in the best way possible.
Sure, it's like, how does it fit into our character? This like, a great Allstate deal.
Yeah, no. So, but all of the voice actors we have in this are professional SAG voice actors, and, you know, it's really, because it's such an important part of the story that we wanted to make sure the performance, you know, fit with everything else we were doing, and so we were so lucky to be able to work with the people that we've been able to work with.
I mean, good for you for investing in that, because I know that in a lot of just general games, and especially student projects, sound and especially voice acting kind of gets the shaft.
Yep.
Like, I think people are like, oh, I'll just kind of do it.
Yeah,
I got
and it's nothing can make or break an experience like the audio. You know, for example, with Nevermind, it's like, it's funny because once we've been working on it for a long time, so it doesn't really scare me anymore when I play it because I kind of know what's going to happen. But there was one time when we put in a bunch of new audio and it freaked me out. Like, I was even like knowing what's going to happen, knowing what I'm looking at, having the new audio in there just was such an emotional experience that, I mean, it's so powerful.
Is this like, I wonder if it's like an actual Hansel and Gretel kind of thing.
Okay.
Well, keep in mind, this is the tutorial, like the simulation that all new neuroprobers have to play. So it's a simulation created by the Neurostalgia Institute. So yes, it may not be based on an actual person. It may be based on a fairy tale.
Okay. Good.
Which I bring up because I was
actually don't
talking
know
during
the
the
story.
intro thing about it. So you probably missed that disclaimer at the very beginning. So.
What's the story of Hansel and Gretel?
Oh, okay.
Stepmother hated us.
Oh.
It's the first one with the the stepmother hated us. That one. Took us in the forest to die. We found the house that looked nice. House was a trap. The corner. Yeah. And then my sister saved us from becoming dinner.
For the longest time, our temp art for the House Was a Trap was just Admiral Akbar.
That's the best. Oh my lord.
And so this is the aha moment when the client remembers what happened.
Oh my God. It's all rushing back. It's so awesome, and I don't want to remember, but yes, I now know the face of my demon. My sister and I. We were taken out into the woods by my stepmother for one of her nighttime walks. We'd usually find our way back by leaving a trail of whatever we could grab before the walk. Marbles, pieces of paper, even pebbles. However, one night, she took us deep, deep into the woods. We brought some bread to leave a trail of crumbs, but the forest creatures must have eaten. We were lost, so lost. We tried to find our way back, but it was so dark, and we were in a very strange part of the woods. We